I'm Alyson McCormick, and I'm the Assistant City Manager for Management Services at the City of Sparks. I'm a lawyer by training. I went to undergrad at Gonzaga University in my hometown, Spokane, Washington. I went to University of Oregon for law school, go Ducks. After I graduated law school, I was a judicial clerk for Ron Paragary at the Nevada Supreme Court. I did that for 2 years. Then I got a job at the Attorney General's Office of Nevada, representing primarily the Department of Corrections and its employees. I was lucky enough to get a job offer from the Sparks City Attorney's Office after being at the Attorney General's Office for about a year. And then about a year and a half ago, I was asked to cross over to the hallway into this position. It's very similar in some ways. You know, one of the best things about being in the city attorney's office and this job as well is that you get to interact with almost every department, if not every department, on a pretty regular basis. So a lot of exposure to lots of different issues and problems, and getting to think outside the box on solutions to those issues and problems. I think the biggest difference in this role is that I get to consider policy more often than just legal considerations. I obviously haven't forgotten my legal training or experience, so that still is certainly something I consider and some knowledge that I use on a regular basis, but I also get to consider, the policy questions around those issues with that kind of legal foundation. I am often the only or one of few women in a room, and I am often a decade or more younger than the other people in the room as well. And I think it's really important for other young women to see themselves represented. The best advice that I have gotten in my own career is to not be afraid to advocate for yourself. I think, women are often socialized to deflect or to, accept what is offered to them, whether it be salary or a position or, additional work that's maybe outside of their job, but without any additional appreciation for that additional work, whether that's additional compensation or otherwise. And I think it's so important to advocate for yourself and to sell yourself and, point out your accomplishments if they're not being acknowledged. I grew up knowing I wanted to be a lawyer, and now I'm not practicing as a lawyer. So I think it's really important to keep an open mind about what is possible or what would be a good fit for you as you change. I think, education is super important, whether it's a traditional college education or, getting an apprenticeship and learning, a skilled trade. And a lot of those roles are not traditionally held by women either. But, women are often excellent problem solvers. Why shouldn't they be solving problems as mechanics or electricians, those kinds of roles as well? I love getting to see a little bit of every department. One of my main responsibilities is human resources. So in that capacity, I interact with every department. I also oversee the city clerk, so I get to see all of the agenda items that get submitted to city council. So anytime that the city contracts with, whether it's a developer or a general contractor for a transportation project or any of those things, I get to see at least a little glimpse of that, and I really love getting to know what's going on across the city.